behind Weaver Space. And Gunther, I'm right here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you cannot hear me or see me. Look, I got my cool hat on today. Figured I'd go with my bowler hat today. I don't wear it too often. It's kind of an unusual hat, right? But I like it. It's a fun hat. It's one of my favorites. Good quality too. Although it kind of, yeah, it's hot today. So maybe it wasn't the best hat for when it's hot, to be honest with you. But cool. How's everyone doing today? Just a couple thumbs up that you guys can hear me. We got Mr. Cole is back. Mr. Powers. We got Danny Grizzle. Still can't get over that name. It's like Danny Grizzle. Man. Thanks for joining in and participating, Danny, so much you've been doing lately. I need a box of Lucky Charms. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So everyone can hear me. Just really good. Oh, sound is good. Thanks, Gaston. Okay, so today I thought it would be fun to go over some cool stuff with Total CMS. I have a lot of things I'd like to get to on my plate today, so we might go a little bit over, and I might not reach everything because, I'm going to be doing a lot of it from scratch. I had all of like 15 minutes before this live stream today to kind of do a little bit of pre-setup, and I wish I was able to do more, but I've just been on a tear recently with Foundation 6, and I was like, oh no, I got a live stream today, but I'm really on a roll on Foundation 6. But so I've been talking to a lot of users lately that have been doing some really interesting stuff with Total CMS. And I thought it would just be fun to kind of show you some of the things that they've been doing and kind of replicate the things, right? So couple of the things I'm actively working over support with these guys. So I'm going to try to live stream and replicate the setup, especially the multilingual setup with some pretty URLs. Kind of complex, but we'll set that up. That was kind of an interesting one. I haven't heard back from Davide whether or not my fix for him worked. So we'll try to squeeze that one in at the end. If not, maybe we'll hit that up. Maybe we'll do a multilingual site, live stream or something like that. Hey, if you got to go watch Ajax, go ahead and go watch some Ajax win Champions League. So good luck to them. They couldn't quite squeeze it out last time, so hopefully they'll do better this year. So yeah, check this out later. Thanks, Egbert. I appreciate it. So yeah, today we are going to look at Total CMS, and I might tease you a little bit about Total CMS 2 and Foundation 6, maybe a little bit here and there. Because why not? It's really cool stuff coming up. And I did just a sidetrack before we get started on Total CMS. On Friday's Hangout, I gave my first really in-depth view of Total CMS, and super stoked. Everyone really loved it. It was a great hangout. I went over a lot of the new features coming in Foundation 6 last Friday. And the new grid system, the new columns, and how all that works, how they're better, how it's easier to use and more powerful all at the same time, obviously. And this week I've been working on tons of stuff. So all in all, I think I have 18 stacks built as of today. Obviously they're not 100% done, but are the Hangouts recorded? No, the Hangouts are not recorded, and that is on purpose, because what happens in the Hangout stays on the Hangouts. So if you would like to join a Hangout and see, you got to join. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of people say they learn the best things and grow the most just by joining these live Hangouts every Friday. So they are live. They are not recorded, and I do not plan on recording them. So sorry. It is kind of like a nice perk for those that can join live, though. And I understand for time zone reasons, not everybody can. I'm sorry. But yes, they're a lot of fun. So join us on Fridays. That is at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, which is 2 hours after this time, right? So, hopefully you guys can join us at least for a little bit. We go for quite a long time, some days. So, hopefully we'll see you there. Cool. So let's get started. I got a lot of stuff to do today. So, right now, what I'm going to do is we're going to be playing a lot with blog. Okay. And first, I want to say that a lot of people, they get kind of roadblocked by Total CMS blog being called a blog, because I mean, it's intended to be used for a blog, and it is designed to be used as a blog. But, right, it's just a bunch of fields, right? So there is a permalink field, which, well, you can't really customize that one. But, there's title, date, author, categories, tags, content, extra content, and summary, right? And a gallery of as many images as you want, right? And then we have a couple toggles for draft and featured, right? But nothing is stopping you. Like there was a user on the forums asking, he wanted something to do an event list, right? And we suggested blog, and he just wasn't fathoming. He's like, I need an event title, a date, an event description, and some images, right? So he needed 4 things. And, well, blog has a title, check. It has 3 large form description areas. You have summary, content, and extra content. So just use one of those, right? So that takes care of that. Date, it has a date field. And it has a gallery, as many images as you want. So, I mean, just because it's labeled as a blog, right, doesn't mean you can't use it for all kinds of stuff, right? Because then, if you could repurpose author to be, maybe it's the venue, right? So maybe if you're organizing events across multiple venues, maybe, the author could be used as the venue name, right? Or you can use tags, and you can tag it as the venue. If a show is potentially in multiple venues, you can use tags as the venues or something like that, right? So, I'm not going to explicitly build out an events list today, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there where, don't be shoehorned into, relying on the Total CMS blog field names. It's intended to be used as a blog. And there are some very specific blog features in it that you might not use, like RSS feed, or, maybe you are going to use that, by the way. You got an RSS feed for events, could be nice, right? But, don't be shoehorned into thinking that just because a field is labeled as author, you don't need to use it as an author field, right? And a lot of people have said, hey, Joe, why don't call it a blog, right? Why, since it's so powerful and flexible, why even call it a blog? Well, because if I didn't call it a blog, no one would realize that you could use it for a blog, right? So, right? It kind of, people expect a CMS to have a blog, and this blog is very powerful, but you can use it for so much more. So just a little advice up front, as we're building some things today, that, just get your gears going in terms of how you can use it. It's essentially a set of things that has a certain predefined set of fields, and you can use those fields to be whatever you want, right? So yeah, without further ado, let's jump on in. There's a few things I need to get done. Events expiration date. So, Danny, that's a great point. So for events, what a lot of people do is events are normally in the future, correct? So what they set is the date of an event is the date of the event in the future. And then in the blog list, they just simply set the blog list to display only future events. So once that event is passed, it won't be displayed in the blog list any longer, right? So it's just a different way of thinking about it. Instead of us creating a blog post and displaying everything that's in the past, we're going to create events that are in the future, and our list is only going to display the items that are in the future, right? So yeah, there are some date tricks and stuff like that we can utilize in Total CMS to display what we want, right? So that is perfect for what we want for events. And a lot of people use this. There are a lot of Broadway shows and shows in the West End in London that the show is built in Rapidweaver. The site is, or not the show is, right? The site. And that, it has all the theater dates and everything like that. And once those dates pass, they're not showed anymore on the homepage, right? So totally doable. Yeah, really, 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 really good stuff. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh man, it's really scaled down. Hold on. Let me change the scale of this a little bit. Oh, I wanted this one. That's why. There we go. Okay. So like I said, I did a little bit of pre-work here. I simply just built out an empty, the content page is actually completely blank, right? And then we have the post page. And then I did create an admin page. And so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna actually bring up this this online. Did I name this /admin? Did I? Oh, I didn't. I'm gonna call this /admin and republish just because. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go to sandbox.joeworking.net/admin. Oh, this has a password. Well, new page is publishing right now that doesn't have a password. Okie dokie. Boom. Okay. I have 0 posts in here right now, so just bear with me while I create a few posts. All right, and we're gonna do. Okay, Hipsum. And then we need some images. So we're gonna drag in that image. And we're gonna drag in this image, and that's fine. Okay, we're gonna upload this blog post. Let me just bring up kind of my stock photo library. Okay, look, see, this is the stuff you are missing out on when you join our Friday Hangouts. We have fun. Okay, okay, let me go back. Let's look at some of my stock graphics here. What in the heck? How come everything is blank? What's going on here? Everything is blank. My data drive's connected. Oh, man, this sucks. Okay, we'll just create some other ones. Okay, let's just refresh this page, reload. Now I did a little bit of no. I created the blog list and the blog form are on one page. I was just lazy. Okay. So let's just do another one. Let's do like Brazil. And then I think I have some stock images down here of Brazil. I don't. I know I have stock images in here, but it's not loading. Well, that blows. All right, we'll just download some images of Brazil real quick. Images. Okay. Oh, Brazil. Yeah, all the fires. That's where it's. We want vacation though. Beach. Okay, there we go. Let's just. We probably want higher res ones because we're going to be on the blog. I'm going to be displaying these full screen. Ugh. Why isn't Pixo working? That really blows. Oh well. We'll just wing it. Let's go back to admin. Sorry, I closed that page. Okay, let's just do Joe Workman, because there's tons of images in me and my stock photos right here. Give some, man, come on. There we go. We just got some plain old content. Okay, and we need some more images. Here we got some images of me. We got this one. got there. With my beard. Whoops. Sometimes yoink is not fun. I hate when it does that. Okay, 2 images. Let's save that one. And we need one more. Here we'll do one for Weaver Space, and I have some Weaver Space images in here. Okay, cool. Uploading. That one's done. Okay, refresh. Oh, look, people are creating blog posts. Nice. Very cool. Okay, there's 3. Okay, actually, here, we'll create one more because I wanted one more. I think that was Rob. My guess. It's my guess. Okay, let's just do Weaver Space. Some text. And we'll upload a few Weaver Space images here. Let's do that one. And then we'll do Weaver Radio. Okay, that's good. Save. Okay, so fun times. There we go. Cool. Now we have 4 blog posts now. Cool. Sorry, I should have done that beforehand, but I didn't. Sorry. Oops. Oh, whoever you could have kept your Star Wars one. That was kind of fun. Oh well. Okay. So I still have 3 blog posts. Let's go ahead and let's bring this back now. Let's go to here. Okay. So I'm probably not gonna have to deal with the admin anymore. Admin was just to create some stuff. Maybe we'll do some admin related tips later on. But the first tip I wanted to build is a really cool implementation of Moving Box. And I wish I remembered the URL to this. Actually, if we hold, or I'm probably gonna be in trouble for leaking this URL, but whatever. I'll show you. Let me go ahead. Oh, that was a picture of my daughter. She got into the Nutcracker. She is going to be a Chinese tea ballet dancer this coming fall, so that is fun. Okay, this is brilliant. If we look further down here, okay, this slider here is total CMS using 2 moving boxes. And if you notice, we have a moving box here on the side. And if you click on any show, or if you go through these shows, what you notice is not only does it show the cover art for the show, but if you notice the background here, when you click on the actual banner for each show, an image from that actual show is displayed in the background. It's a subtle effect, but it's very cool because whenever we, move the slider or anything, the background also changes. Really, 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 really slick. So I actually released an update to Moving Box, or was it Moving Box? Yeah, an update to Moving Box last week that fixed this because there was a slight bug with a total conflict with total CMS and whatnot that got all this working. So really, really cool. That's what we're going to be working on right now. I'm going to show you how to get that done. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead and add a moving box. Now, I'm not going to make this as pretty or in terms of trying to make it look super slick and whatnot. I just want to get her done. So we're going to add moving box to this. Okay, and let's go ahead and we also need to add a total CMS blog list inside of there. Total CMS. And many of you probably didn't know, oops, that's an admin list. I want a content list. Boom. Okay, now many of you probably didn't know this, but you can add a blog list into Moving Box. Pretty slick. So let's go ahead and look at this Moving Box settings. And the way you do that is slide source. We go from default and we go to total CMS blog list. So we click on that bad boy. And it says you can add a single blog list into the content. And that's what we've done here. And I want to display an image. So what we're going to do is we're going to do image and make sure this blog list is set to total CMS. It is. That total CMS is my blog ID. And then we are going to, I want to make sure that the images that are displayed, I need to go here. I don't want a square thumbnail. I want the original image. So I want the original image to be used. And yeah, let's give that a shot. Should preview that. There we go. Okay. They're kind of tiny, but let's go ahead and load count. We want to load 10. Grid. Oh, we want to set the columns to be 1. Oops, man, I can't. 1. Okay. Flex width. Set that to be the widest. Gutter 0. Okay, there we go. Let's preview that. There we go. Okay. The images are getting wider now. Okay. Some of them, oh, that one's a square image. Doesn't really fit. That kind of blows. Okay. But that's okay. We'll work with it. Max images. Let's just pull in one image. We don't want infinite load. Or it's an image. Can we do fill? Yes, we want fill. Or, no, we want to fill. Okay. And then I don't want any hover animations right now. It's fine. I like to be interesting blur. Let's blur it by 10 pixels. Let's see what that is. Oh, that was on hover. Oh, that's, oh, you can only blur on hover. Interesting. I forgot that. Thought you could apply effects without, okay, let's just do that. And I want these, moving box. It's currently sliding. I want it to be a fade. So I'm going to go back to moving box and set that to be fade. Okay. So. There we go. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is I'm going to duplicate this moving box. Okay. So I've created 2. I have one on top of the other. And this top one, so that one I just created is going to be like the background one, right? And the one that we're going to create right now, and actually that picture of me is bothering me. Hold on one second. Let me just go ahead and, just so it looks a little bit nicer, because that one is square and it's totally not working. Let's go ahead. I think it was in this one. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to delete this image. Okay. And here we'll use this one. Thinking about it, going slow. Good. All right, there we go. Okay. Now it should look a little nicer. Okay, there we go. So as you see, we have 2 of these. This top one, we're going to change it though, because we wanted it to be the one where it was a carousel. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that. So this, we're going to change the moving box, and we're going to make this go to slides to show. We're going to show 4. Initial slide is 1. That's fine. The effect, I want these to slide actually. Enable swipe. I don't want autoplay. Actually, on this other one, I don't want autoplay either. Because I want it to be all manual. So we're going to turn off autoplay. On the bottom one, on the background one, I don't want nav arrows. So I'm going to turn the nav arrows off actually as well. And the nav dots. I'm going to disable breakpoints for now as well. And then we'll enable slider sync in a little bit. Okay, on this top one, I'm going to disable breakpoints for now, just because. Don't want to troubleshoot that if there's issues. We don't want nav dots, but we definitely want arrows. Enable swipe, sure. Draggable slides, okay. Sliding. And then we also want center mode. Where's center mode? Oh, here, center mode. Okay, so here we got center mode. We're not going to scale it at all. And then, okay, I think that's it. Let's preview that. Oops, how come none of that seemed to work? Manage auto. Oh, there it goes. Maybe it was just browser cache or something like that. Okay. Cool. So we got that. Inside blog list, let's see, in moving box, we can add some spacing to the carousel. It's okay. Well, actually, another thing we're going to want like a read more button down at the bottom. So we'll add a read more button. Just say fixed to the bottom. Or actually, no, I want it. We'll do it medium. Yeah, and we'll center it. Okay. There we go. Refresh. Okay. So, there we go. How come the clicking isn't working? Is there any JavaScript errors? Nope. Initial slides. And we'll disable swipe. Interesting. Show nav arrows. I wanted. Does it? Oh, where are the nav arrows? If we move it down on the bottom. Definitely working. It's somewhat working. What did I do wrong here? It's like these moving box settings again. Total CMS, I want to show here. Let's do 3 since we only have 4. So we'll do 3. Slide. Left to right. Show nav arrows. Nav arrows should be showing. Show nav dots. We don't want. We can add some margins to each slide, I guess. That would be good. Okay. Not sure what setting I changed that fixed it, but there we go. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to sync this slideshow with this slideshow. Pretty simple, right? Or hopefully it is. So here, I'm going to call this one back and this one front. Okay. So we're going to go up to this first one here. Go to the moving box settings there. Scroll all the way to the bottom. There's enable slider sync. Okay. And the unique ID for this one is going to be back. And we want to sync it with front. Okay. So there's that. And then down in this one, we scroll down and we want the unique ID of this to be front. And we want to sync it with back. Okay. Let's go ahead and preview that again. And now when I click on this, there we go. Cool. Okay. Now, what if we wanted these images to be different, right? How can we do that? So right now, the blog list is pulling in the same exact images for both, right? So we're just going to have to change the query of this one. Okay. So if we go to, and what it's doing is it's pulling in the first image, right? So there's a couple things we could do. If we go to this blog list that's inside the front one, right? We can go ahead and, where is the image queries? Image setup. Okay. And instead of all images, what we could do is we could do featured only images. Okay. So in this one, it's going to pull in the featured images. Now, I should say that I haven't set any of those featured images. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go back into each of these. So let's click and let's pick a featured image. So let's pick this one as the featured image. Okay. And then we're going to go into Weaver Space. We're going to click this one as the featured image. And we're going to go into Joe Workman. I'm going to click this one as the featured image. Let's go to San Francisco. And I'll pick this one as the featured image. Okay. So now that this is doing that. There we go. So these ones are pulling in the featured images while the one above is not. Okay. And I even turn on a little scaling if you see this. So the one that's currently selected is a little bit larger. Okay. Now, in terms of, now this is pretty cool, right? I mean, if I were to even remove the padding between these, right? We could get something like right below, right? Which could be cool, right? Now, John, in that site you saw had him overlaid, right? So what he did is basically, I think he used sections, right? But for a really quick overlay, let's just bring in target. Target. Boom. Okay, so I have my background content, which is this one. I have my foreground content, which is that one. And let's look at the target settings. Set to position centered automatically. So boom. Oops. What? Hold on one second. I got a lot of windows open here. Let's just close some of those. Don't need that for right now. Don't need that. Okay, let's just close them all. Preview. Huh. Oops. Where'd that go? Interesting. Okay, let's try something different here. Hold on one second. I do. Let's take that, put that there. Change this to be relative to parent. Like that. Oh, I had the z-index set to 0. That's what I did wrong. I should set that to like 100 or something like that. What? Jesus. That is odd. All right, troubleshoot that really quick. I'll give this 2 minutes. Else we'll keep going. You saw how we did the slider sync, and this was just getting the overlays working a little bit. So. It's like they're invisible or something. That is crazy. Margin auto. I have no crazy settings set. I know when I look at this after the live stream, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm a dumbass, and I should have figured that out. But okay, we'll just leave it at that and show you that you can get the slider sync. Okay. So you should be able to use Target to overlay one on top of the other one, because that's exactly what John did. I think he also used sections to kind of do the overlay on the background, and there's a bunch of other designy things that you guys can do. But the raw feature here is pretty slick, where, as you see here, I'm dynamically building out a blog and displaying those, in a very unique way using Moving Box. So really cool stuff there. Okay. Let's move on. Moving on up. Let's go to oops. What was my next one? Let's see. Okay, we're gonna do an example of blog and paywall, which is interesting. Okay. So to do that, I'm gonna need a blog post page really quick. I'm just gonna, again, I'm not going for design words right now. So I'm going to quickly just chuck a bunch of stuff on the page so we can see content. Okay. So I'm going to go here. Let's just add some padding there just for fun. 5. Okay. Then we go to total CMS. Loving the new groups, right? With the icons. Oh man, loving the icons. This if you guys are curious, this is what I use for the total CMS one. It's a little flame thing. Kind of looks like total CMS, right? So anyway. We need a blog post stack, and we're going to go like that. And I never set up the blog post URL, so I'm going to go ahead and preview this. And yeah, that's what I want. Thank you very much. Let's save that. Okay, cool. So now I can actually, blog post will work. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's add in, we had a summary and we had content. Okay. And then we also had a gallery, right? Let's just add the gallery in there. We'll add it above. Okay, since it's not big. I need a preview ID. Preview Joe-Workman. Let's do San Francisco preview. Boom. Okay, so there is my crazy simple blog post page that has here we'll the first paragraph is the summary, the second paragraph is the content. Again, depends on how you're using these. Maybe you're not going to be displaying the summary. Maybe you keep the summary just for the blog list. But yeah, so right now this is the full thing. Okay. So what we want to do is, let's say this is a paid blog, and we want to limit access to this blog only for people that have a subscription. Okay. Now, I have to thank Scott Williams for this idea. He's used it, I believe, on more than one site, and he uses SiteLock to kind of manage subscriptions and manage access and stuff like that. I'm not going to use SiteLock right now. I'm not going to try to go through and set all that up. No time for that at all. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate that using PageSafe. So PageSafe is my authentication, like really simple, cool authentication stack that allows us to log in, and then we can display different content if we're logged in. Okay. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is, let's say if we're logged in, I want to see the content area. If we're not logged in, I only get the summary. Okay, so pretty cool. Now Scott does this a pretty cool thing where he actually has like a light box comes up and like prompts you to subscribe and all that jazz. Also, if you're not logged in, I might try to do that as well if we have time. But right now, I'm just going to show you how to get that login authentication working and how we can actually show and hide content, different content based on whether or not a user is authenticated or AKA subscribe to our content. right? So, okay. Let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is we're going to start off. I need an authentication page. So actually, I'm going to do something interesting that probably some of you might not even know is possible. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go here. I'm going to call this auth. I'm going to change this to be auth, and I'm going to add page safe. I'm going to add page safe to this page. Okay. So I'm going to have page safe on this page. I'm just going to keep the default pin as 1234. Default page safe ID expires in 1 day. Cool. I'm going to redirect it back at login. So we'll see what that means. Okay, afterwards. So that's pretty cool. Where I'm going to check redirect back at login. I'm going to keep all the defaults here. I think we're good now. Okay, that's it. That's all I need for page safe. I now have a centralized authentication page, which is really cool. We're going to go back to our blog post page, and I am going to use StackSafe. Okay, so StackSafe is really cool in that, first off, when you add StackSafe to the page, you know whether or not you're logged in or not. Okay, so we're going to keep the default page safe ID, which is page safe, and we're going to say if we're not logged in, I'm going to add a button here to our login page. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Not logged in, button, and I'm going to say we're going to go and we're going to boop, 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 page auth, set link, and change this to be login, and we're going to, no, I want alignment right, and we're going to make it a pill. Okay, so now I have a login button, and that's kind of big, but whatever. Here, we'll make it tiny. Style, size, tiny. Login. Okay, so if we're not logged in, we're going to see the login button. Okay, and I'm going to use that stack totally again. So we're going to go back and we're going to use, stack safe. Boom. If we're logged in, we're going to see the content here. If we're not logged in, we're going to see the summary. Okay. Cool. Let's just preview that really quick. Okay. So right now, it thinks we are not logged in. So it's showing us the summary and the login button. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this really quick. Let's go ahead and publish. I did that a lot faster than I was expecting, actually. Sorry if I'm going really quick, guys. I just want to show you, again, you guys can rewatch a lot of this later and post on Weaver Space if you have questions and stuff like that. So cool. Let's go ahead and go to, let's close all these extra windows, and let's just go to sandbox.jorg.net. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna click to this. And if you see, we're on the blog post page. We are not logged in because I'm seeing the summary. Remember, the content was 2 paragraphs. The summary is 1 paragraph, right? So we're not logged in. Also, we have the login button here. Another thing we do, we can insert things like call to action that maybe that would be fun to do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to click login. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And when it's successful, it's going to redirect me back. And voila, login button's gone and my full content is here. What? Right? Really, really, really cool stuff there. So again, that's using just PageSafe. But if you're using SiteLock, the StackSafe stack, there's a similar one in it's my SiteLock stack's called VisiLock. And it does the exact same thing, whether or not the user's logged in or not. And you can do other things like if he's in the group and all kinds of other stuff, because SiteLock is a little bit more powerful. It has a little bit more grouping features than PageSafe does. But PageSafe, as you see, is super quick and simple. I did this in like 5 minutes, right? Pretty slick. Now, obviously, what I guess what I could do here is I could, if we're logged in, we could add a log out button really quick, right? So I can do this, right? And we could just say that's just a button, and we're gonna log out, right? So if we're logged in, we have a log out button. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So if we go ahead and do that. Refresh here, Boom. Now I have a logout button. And if I click on that logout button, should refresh the page. And look, I don't have access anymore to the full content. I only have access to the summary, right? So again, I can go ahead and click the login. 1, 2, 3, 4. Login. It redirects me back. And voila. There we go. There is the full content of the blog post, a logout button, and all of our images and whatnot. So really, really cool. If we want to go one more step farther, which is kind of interesting, let's do a little bit more here. So down in here, let's integrate call to action. Okay. If we're not logged in, I want a call to action. Okay. And we're going to trigger on page load. After 1 second, we're going to trigger a reveal lightbox called my reveal. Let's go ahead and go to foundation. Let's add a reveal stack to the page. Reveal stack. We're going to use an external launcher for reveal. The launch ID is my reveal. And let's just add I'm just going to add a header. Please subscribe for full access. Right? And then you could probably have like a paragraph below or a form or some sort of button, right? Or let's just add a I'm not going to add a link. We'll just do subscribe now so you can kind of get the idea. Maybe we'll center align this and center align that. We've been using pill buttons, so we'll do that. Okay, so now here let's see if this works. So in theory, what this does is because I added the call to action inside of the stack safe. When we're not logged in, are we logged? No, we are logged in right now. So if I refresh this page, okay, we don't get anything, right? We don't see that pop up, okay, because we're logged in. You don't want to nag someone to subscribe when they're already logged in. So I'm going to go ahead and log out. Boom. So I logged out. I got to see the content for 1 second, and then I got this light box. It says, please subscribe for full access. What? Really, really cool stuff. You can close it. And there's other light boxes and other solutions to make it so they can't close it. Call to action actually integrates with Target, which could like create a full overlay that's not closable, which is interesting. So I can refresh this page every time I want. Since I'm not subscribed, after 1 second, it pops up. Please subscribe for full access. You can obviously put all kinds of different information in here, right? And then if I log in again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Redirect back. It's refreshing. Boom. No light box. I have access to my full content, all that stuff. So that is a 20-minute tutorial on how to do a paywall with Total CMS. Pretty cool, pretty mind-blowing stuff. And thanks, Scott, for that idea of doing a paywall. I think I added a few things for him, especially in the call to action. If you can use it inside VisiLock and StackSafe and stuff like that, so that you can do these pop-ups to users if they're logged in or not. So really, really cool stuff. Hope you guys enjoy that. Okay. Let's try something else now. Okay. We're at 12:20. We've been going for almost an hour now. I really want to try to do this multilingual blog thing. So let's try. Okay. So Davide has, he's spoken at the conference a couple times, and he does a lot of bilingual sites, a lot of Spanish and English sites. So he has, a lot of visitors that, want websites that have English versions of the page and Spanish versions of the page. So what he's done is, inside, let me open up the admin area. Okay. What he's done here is, let's say, for example, the content area is this. So he has a blog and he wants every blog post to have an English version and a Spanish version. So what he's done is he's repurposed the content area as the English, and the extra content is the Spanish, right? Since I already have content in summary and content, let's pretend the summary is English and the content is Spanish. Okay, so we're going to be playing around with that now. So we want to add some filters to our page so that if we're on the English version of the page, it will display the English blog post. If we're on the Spanish version of the page, it's going to display the Spanish version of the blog post. Okay. And obviously, I mean, these don't have English and Spanish. It's still going to have lorem ipsum text, but we'll get the idea. Okay. Okay. So let's go back. And what we're going to use to do that alongside Total CMS, and to simplify things, I'm going to remove all this stack safe stuff. Okay. Because I don't want to mix and match solutions here and confuse you. So we're going to go back to removing all the authentications, and we're back to a simple blog page. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to use something called agent. Okay. Agent. Hey, when you search and you're in a different group. Okay, there. Agent. We're going to use agent URL. Okay. So we're going to add agent URL, and what we're going to do is, if I pass lang equals en to my URL, it will be English, or English will also be the default. Okay. But if I pass lang equals es, then the language will be Spanish. So I want to make sure that I'm displaying the correct content to my users. Okay. So here on language URL, I'm going to set the URL parameters. We want to set the key to be lang and the value to be en. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to check this as set as default value. So if no lang parameter is passed to the URL, this will be displayed as the default. Okay. So for fun, we're going to go ahead and just so that we can see it and it's easier to see, I'm going to go ahead and add a header in here, and I'm going to call this English. Boop. Okay. And I'm going to copy and paste that, and we're going to do if language equals es. Okay. And I'm going to turn off set as default, and we're going to display the summary inside there. Okay. This is Spanish. Cool. Okay. So here I have my layout, my page. Now here, like, we have title, right? We could potentially have English and Spanish titles to our blog post as well. Maybe we leverage the author field, or maybe we leverage extra content, something like that. If we wanted to display different titles based off English and Spanish. Okay. Just for right now, it's the same exact concept, but we're just going to switch out the content, right? The summary versus the content fields. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this. Let's get that up. Okay. We're going to go to this. And if we see here, I have my English content, right? Okay. But if I pass a parameter to the end, lang equals es, right? We'll get the Spanish version of my blog post. Pretty cool, right? Now what we can do is make that a little bit easier. Again, I'm not going to make this completely, totally pretty. Let's just get her done. Let's just do a 2-column over here. Actually, I'm going to do one column up here, and then we're going to do a button. We're going to float, and we're going to say this is, oops. I'm going to set this URL to be we'll just link to this. Actually, equals en, right? Because that is going to do. I think we'll have to see how that works. Okay, and we're going to do en, right? And try do tiny, and we're going to change the float to be smaller, 100. Okay. And then we're going to do ES. Maybe we'll do style alert, right? There we go. Set the link. Yes. I think that's what we want. May have to tweak that. Okay, so we have. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, so what I want to do here is we're going to set up pretty URLs as well, because what I want to do here let me just open up text edit really quick. Because ultimately on our blogs, we want pretty URLs, right? So let's just go ahead and set that up. So here we're on the blog post page. I want pretty URLs. We're going to preview. And there is my thing. Okay, so these are the htaccess rules that I need. Let's submit. Done. Okay. And then I need to go to transmit. I need to edit my htaccess rules. Okay, let's go to htaccess. Edit this bad boy. Come on, VS Code. There we go. Okay. I can delete all of these previous ones that I've done. Okay. So there is my htaccess rules. I'm going to keep that file open. And okay. So now if I go to my blog posts, I can remove this permalink equals bad boy right there. Okay. So now we have pretty URLs, right? So even if I go to the main blog posts and I click on this guy, I get my pretty URL. Now, what is a pretty URL, right? So a pretty URL means we have this. It looks a lot nicer. It doesn't have that question mark permalink equals, right? I have quite a few videos on permalinks and pretty URLs. Check those out. But as you see, it was pretty simple. As long as you have a kind of a basic setup. Now, one thing I said is that we want to add language to the end of our URLs, right? So what would be really cool is if I just had the blog post /en or /es right at the end, because then it looks pretty and it's easy to link to and things like that, right? So that's what I'm going to try to do right now, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get it to work. So essentially what we need to do is we need to map, and I'm going to be mucking around with htaccess rules right now. So right now I'm going to take this, and it's going to ultimately map to question mark permalink equals, and then the actual permalink, and lang equals es, right? So this URL will bring up the, if we paste this in, this will bring up the Spanish version of our blog post. Okay. But what I want is, I don't want it to have this ugly stuff at the end with the permalink and the lang. I want it to look pretty, right? So how can we do that? So first off, we're going to go ahead and do this. So let's get it. I'm going to copy those just so I don't lose it. So we want it to be slash this slash, and then we want to capture -w plus. So this is going to say if we have a post with some white space or non-white space slash and some word characters, we want to map this to permalink and lang equals ES, or no, equals $2. So here permalink is $1, which matches what's in these little parentheses. So when you put parentheses around stuff in the htaccess, it kind of grabs it and inserts whatever that captures into memory. So then in the background, it puts $1 to what this matches. And inside this parentheses, whatever that matches, it assigns it to $2 because it's the second one. Okay. So that's kind of how htaccess rules work. So let's see if that works. Okay. So we're going to have slash permalink slash language. Cross our fingers because I have no clue if that's going to work. Oh, it bombed. Okay. That bombed. All right, let's try that. I just changed the regular expression a little bit. Not going to try to explain regular expressions right now. Let's see if this works. Oh, damn. Really? Why didn't that work? Interesting. Oh, look, it brings in. It brings in the right content. Oh, I think I know why. It brings in the right content, but it's not bringing it into the CSS files. Oh, interesting. Did that work with my previous rule? Sorry if I am confusing you guys. This is totally something I've been wanting to test, and I figured why not do it today while you guys all watch me flounder. It does work. Oh, but it's just not finding the correct paths because, oh. So what's going on is I've now changed the path to the underlying, or like I've added extra slashes to the URL. And what happens here is a lot of the resources within RapidWeaver are set to be relative to page, which is what you want most of the time. So we could potentially set this to be relative to doc root. And this, in theory, that should work, but setting things to relative to doc root could also break other things on my page, on my site. Because yeah, it's unpredictable for a lot of other things. Ooh, this will be interesting. Look at that. It worked, but setting this to be relative to doc root, I know it's going to break other things with some other potential stacks. So while that's a solution for this particular thing, it is an issue that we'll have to I'll have to think about more now that I know what the problem is here. And then here, if we go ahead and if I go back to this blog post page, if I change this to just simply link to ES, and then change the English button to simply link to EN. Okay. Let me publish that. Not sure why the button isn't styled. It's styled weird. But if we click on EN, it goes to English. If we click on ES, it goes to Spanish. So it's definitely working. But just to be a little careful, setting this file links to relative to doc root. Be careful with that. It could break other things on your site. Yeah. I will try. I like this scenario. I want this to work. Maybe how could we do this? Okay. I'm determined to fix this really quick. If you guys want to bear with me, I'm going to set that back to relative to page, and I'm going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to do, I'm going to do like maybe if we do URL, because we can't add any more slashes. If we do like -- language or something like that, Okay, let's try that. I don't know if it's the best solution, but what we'll do is here, we'll do this. So if we have -- and then some word characters, we're going to do that. Let's save that. That. And then if we do at the end of the URL, if we change it to ES, that works. With the new, oh, hold on, let's republish with the relative to page setting. Oh, and look, my button's colored properly again. Okay, that's interesting. Now, with this particular solution, so this, if we go back, so this is the URL that I've decided to go with, right? So we have /post/ the permalink, and then we have -- and then at the end we have our language. So now we need to update these links so that it links to that, right? Which is interesting. Okay, so we go here. Okay, this is a PHP page. I'm actually going to do a little bit of kind of craziness here. So I'm going to link to slash because I need the permalink, right? So, oh, but I can use my macros. Hold on. Oh, yes. This is a great four-way to using macros. Okay, so even better way. So if I go to, let's look at blog macro hints. We can get access to the permalink, right? So percent blog permalink parentheses and %, right? So let's go ahead and copy that. What I'm going to do is I need to link to, we're going to go to set link, and we're going to link this English one to be slash post slash the permalink -- en, right? That's what we want. I'm going to copy that, set link, and then the Spanish one, we're going to set this to be, because now if you haven't used macros, basically wherever I put this macro in, the CMS is going to insert the data for us, right? So in this case, it's going to insert the permalink. So let's set the link to that. And then we publish. This is interesting. Okay, then let's refresh. Bam. There we go. We have the Spanish version, and we click on English. We have the English version. Boom. Okay, now one thing we need to make sure that also works is that if we have no language at the end, we want our blog post to still work, right? So we need to go back to our htaccess file and add another line, which is essentially what we had before, the first line. Like that. I should do it. Oh, internal server error. Okay, hold on. We might need to do this again. There we go. So there, okay. We don't have any language extensions at the end, okay, and we have the English version. And if I click on the Spanish, we have the English extension now in the URL, and then we have the Spanish version. And if I click on EN again, it takes me back to the English version. Now I can make this English version actually just link to the normal blog post if I wanted to, and that would work as well. So pretty cool stuff, right? So now I didn't even go into a lot of the other nomenclatures that we need to think about when we do a lot of this. So like do multi-language stuff, because there's you now have the same content but just in different languages, and there's a lot of stuff like href langs. So take a look at SEO Helper. You're going to want to make sure you set canonical URLs. You're going to want to set some href langs, meta tags, and those are all supported inside SEO Helper. I'm definitely planning on doing something like that in a future live stream to show how to properly build a multi-language site. This is really cool. Someone asked, couldn't you build two blogs, EN and ES, and mix up the fields? Actually, that's a really good point as well. It's just a little bit extra work on the back end. Let's say I had, post/EN and then post/ES and then the blog post. You could do that too. That's actually a really good thing. But on the back end, you have to add a post 2 times, right? So, this way it's all in the same form. You're just typing out an English version and a Spanish version. But yeah, if you did 2 separate blogs, you probably wouldn't have to deal with some of this hackery that I did in htaccess. It would be a little more straightforward. So yeah, good point on that. So yes, you could have 2 blogs, but this is a way if you wanted to do it in one blog to have a little bit, simpler stuff, because then if you do it in one blog, you share the same images. You get, maybe the author could be the same, right? There's a few things that are going to be the same, right? But yeah. So yeah, cool stuff here. There's a couple other things some minor things that I wanted to kind of show off today. That why not? We'll go for another 20 minutes. If you guys want to stay on, I'll do it. And some pretty simple stuff. And I'm just gonna I kind of want to keep these. I'm gonna add a new page. Let me just copy a couple things onto this page. Okay, I'll make this file available, guys, as well. I know I jumped around a lot in here. Maybe I will. What I'll do here is I'll do this, and on the blog post page, I'm going to put a pen. I'm going to put a pen at the top with my htaccess rules. Boom. Okay. There we go. So there's my htaccess rules that I used for this particular project with the URLs and the kind of the fancy language stuff. And yeah, not sure if maybe you don't like the dash. Maybe we can come up with some other other things, but pretty cool. So other stuff, some underutilized things. I'm going to add a couple things to this admin page really quick up at the top, and that I want to illustrate here. And we're going to do I'm going to add a toggle. First off, let's add a 2-column really quick. Just going to add a 2-column up here, and then we're going to go back here, and I'm going to add a toggle there, and we're going to do a select box. Okay, we're actually going to do 2 things: a select box and just a normal text box over here on this side. Okay. This select box, I'm just going to go ahead and let's just say test 1. Okay. So 2 is testing, or we'll just do testing 2, testing 1. 3. 4. 4. Okay. So what I did is I created a little select box that has 4 options. Okay. Just test 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here on this text box, I'm going to set this to be just a plain old text. I want 1 line. We don't want markdown formatting. Okay. And then this toggle is called, that's fine. Okay. So here I have just a couple options here. Just preview that really quick. Okay. Here I have a toggle. We can toggle on and off. And then here I have a select box and a normal text box. Okay. Pretty simple stuff. Let me go ahead and publish these really quick. And while that's going, what I wanted to show you guys is how we can show and hide content on our sites based on these particular elements, right? So toggle is the easiest, right? So if we go to this stuffs page, okay, I'm going to add just some content in here. Let's add this, add some padding so it's not all the way at the top. Okay. So inside here, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the total CMS content, and we're going to have a toggle stack. Okay. And what the toggle stack is cool is you can say when the toggle is on, show this. When the toggle is off, show this, right? Or you can just say toggle this on when the toggle's on and toggle it off when it's off. Now, just for simplicity, I mean, you could have all kinds of complex layouts or total CMS managed layouts in here. I'm just going to simply, for easiness, I'm going to throw in an image. Okay. So when that toggle in the admin area is turned on, this image is going to show. When that toggle is turned off, it's not going to show. Right? Pretty cool stuff. Next up is, here, let's publish that. And let's open up the web page really quick. And this was, let's go to /admin. And we're going to add another page, sandbox/stuff. Okay. So in the admin, this toggle is turned off, right? I can turn that on. Now, if we go back to our page and we refresh, magically, we have an image, right? So toggles are very powerful. And I talked to Josh actually last Friday after the Hangout. It was just me and him. He's a regular on the Hangouts. And he was saying, like, he sees a lot of people talking about how can the user, temporarily remove something from the site or display a message temporarily. Maybe it's a maintenance message, or maybe it's something that's just during the holidays or something like that. And they want manual control on when it's turned on and off. Just toggle it, it's super simple to do. As you see, if you want it off, you toggle it off. You go to the web page, refresh, it's gone, right? So toggles, simple thing. But I think they're underutilized. Very powerful things, toggles. Okay. Now, what's the next level? Like, what if we wanted more or different options for things, right? So toggle's cool, but let's go ahead and look at something that probably is very underutilized, and something called the select show stack. And it's very similar to toggle. Toggle is very black and white, on or off, right? But select show has some other interesting things. And what it does is you can do things if it's equal to, if it's, not equal to, if it's less than or greater than, if you're using numbers, right? If it contains a particular string, right? So we can have a little bit of logic in here, right? So let's say, for example, I'm going to do equal. Now, if you remember in that select box, okay, I set it to test 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could do something like, let's say test 1. I'm going to save that. Okay. Now, if I go to the select show and I say if this, and that's actually the CMS ID of that is select, right? So we had to make sure the CMS IDs match. So if the CMS ID is select and it's equal to testing 1, then display. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and I'll add a different image in here. Let's just add that one. Okay, and so let's publish this page. So if I refresh this page, we see the image, right? And the reason we see the image is because I set it to be test 1. Now, if I change this to be test 4 and save it, okay, and then I go back here and refresh, it's not going to be displayed. Now, why is that? The reason it's not displayed is because the condition isn't met. It's not equal to testing 1, the value, right? So again, the condition here must match. When I set up this, I set the value to be testing 1 in the select box, right? But what's cool is I have multiple conditions here. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we can also do other things, right? So this is not maybe equal to. We could do not equal to. So if it's not equal to testing 1, then show the content, right? So if I did that, that means if it's set to testing 2, testing 3, or testing 4, this content will show. But if it's testing 1, it won't be shown, right? So if I refresh the page now, it's displayed because it's currently set to test 4. Okay. Now, if I were to do contains string, I could do like if it contains the word test, then don't. Or then display it, right? So if it contains the string, display it. So in this case, I mean, since all of the words in there contain the word test, it's going to display it all the time, right? But obviously you can have multiple, things in here that are something not as generic as testing 1, testing 2, testing 3. Maybe this is location. Maybe it's, San Francisco, California. And maybe you have Los Angeles, California. And then maybe you have New York, New York. And then you could do things like, we'll display this image if it's California, if it contains California. That equals San Francisco and Los Angeles, right? So there's really a lot of cool ways that you can use this select, show, hide stack, right? And you can use it with more than just select boxes. You can use it with text and numbers as well. So like I have this particular box. So here, let's go ahead and save something into here. Actually, I'm going to need to go back to my layout, and I'm going to change this. Instead of looking at the select thing that we did, we're going to look at the total CMS ID. Okay. So we'll do this total CMS, this is this text box right here. So we're going to be looking at whatever I type into this box. Okay. And if it contains the word Joe, it's going to show this image. Okay. So if total CMS contains Joe, we want to display this image. Okay. So let's publish that. Okay. So let's go ahead and refresh. And we have nothing, right? Because there we go. Okay. Now we're on HTTPS. Okay. So we have nothing because the value of this box is blank, right? But if we type in Joe is cool, okay, and then we refresh, we see it because that value of that text box contains the word Joe, right? So really cool stuff there. And if I were to type, Scott is not cool. Or sorry, here, Scott is cool, but Scott is old. I love you, Scott. Okay. Nothing is going to be displayed because Scott is old does not contain the word Joe. Okay. So pretty cool stuff. Very, very cool. And again, it could be anything. It could be Joey, right? As long as it contains that word, it's going to be displayed. Boom. So another thing, let's go to the admin side. Let's add in, a number, and for fun, Oh, that's a total CMS2 thing. Never mind. Okay, we'll add in a number, right? So we're gonna add a number, and the CMS ID is number. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is I want to analyze that number. So we're gonna do if the number is greater than 5, then display this, right? Okay, we're gonna publish. So I changed this select show to look at the CMS ID number. And then if that value is greater than 5, we're going to, okay, let's refresh. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's refresh this page. Oh, it equals 12. Haha, that's why it showed. Okay, let's do 3. I'm going to save. We're going to go back over here. Doesn't display because it's not greater than 5, right? So I can do 4. I can save the value of 4. I can refresh. Still got nothing. If I go up to 6, save, boom, displays, right? Very, very powerful. So utilize that select show stack, and you'll love it. One more thing, if this is a pretty basic thing, but I think a lot of people don't understand this as well, is let's go ahead. I'm going to add, let's go to the admin. I'm going to change this text area to be like, I don't know, a bigger, a normal text box. Okay. So we have a big piece of text. And then on the stuff page, I'm just going to add that text area. Where's CMS text? Content, text. Okay. I'm going to add the text below there, and it's going to plain text. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're just going to publish that. All right, I'm going to toggle this on so that we have, so if we look at this page, we now have the word Joey, as well as, because that's what's in that text box, as well as 2 images. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you is, if I refresh this page. Let's get some Hipsum text in here. Where's my Lorem Hipsum? There it is. Okay, let's save that. Okay. So now I have a lot of text in here, right? And let's say I don't want this text anymore. Like I want to remove it from the page. You could use a toggle, right? But since it's just text, if you just delete it and save an empty text area, okay, and refresh my page, it's gone. There is nothing in there, right? So while toggles are cool, you don't necessarily, if it's just a text area, you don't need them because you just delete the text. Now, obviously, toggles are good because you can keep the text in there if you wanted to save it and just enable it later on. But that is a nifty trick to use because that text area can contain, and you can even do something interesting, like if you do, add a background color to it, make it freaking yellow, something horrible, right? Pink, right? Bright pink. Please don't do that. Here, let's publish that, right? Not there. Okay, let's go ahead and add that text back in and save it. Refresh. Voila. I have my pink text back, right? So that is another way, if you want to, show and hide just a text area, if you just completely delete it, it's not going to show anything on the page. So cool stuff there. That's it. I haven't been paying attention in the chat room. So hopefully, here, let me peruse through it really quick. Hope you guys liked today. Yeah, it was just kind of a grab bag of cool special stuff that I've seen people do and use over the past month or so that I really want to make sure that all of you guys benefited from it, right? So people are asking me, can you have multiple blogs? You can have as many blogs as you want. Just give it a different CMS ID. Obviously, you need a different admin page and different blog lists, so you have to set up admin areas for each blog. But you can have infinite number of blogs, as many as you want. They're all managed separately. So yes, Totally possible. So sweet. Looks like a lot of you had to leave early. Sorry if you had to leave early. I did go an extra half hour, but I thought what we went over was really cool today. And yeah. So take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today. I'm gonna be posting this afternoon the official conference video. Also look on my mic. I got cool like little Weaver Space doodads here, right? So pretty cool. Maybe I got a few stickers as well, so maybe we can I don't know what I'll do with them yet. Maybe I'll try to send some out. So I don't have too many. That's all I got. So it's kind of a test run. Pretty cool stuff. Can the blog list aggregate, say on front page news? Yes, the blog list you can aggregate from your blog. Yep. So in Total CMS 2, you can aggregate multiple blogs into a single list, which is kind of cool. But currently you'd have to set up multiple lists to display on the same page. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today. Check out the conference, summer.weavers.space, coming up in October. And I'm going to be posting the video for that later today, hopefully. So, and probably shoot out another email saying thank you and, a reminder that it's coming up quick. So take care, everyone. We'll talk to you guys next week. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday on the Hangout as well. I'm going to have some more Foundation 6 fun stuff to display there. So again, if you can make it, squeeze in some time, come answer your questions, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.